Well, folks, it's another week in Biden's America. Sorry, I mean Trump's America 2.0. This week's snapshot? The Rock. No, not Dwayne Johnson, though he'd probably approve. I'm talking Alcatraz, that island fortress of justice where bad guys once learned crime doesn't pay. President Trump, bless his builder's heart, just dropped a bombshell on Truth Social. He's ordering the feds to rebuild and reopen Alcatraz to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. Cue dramatic music. Because for too long, our streets have been a free-for-all thanks to the last administration's love affair with chaos. Violent crimes spiking. FBI stats show a 5.6% jump in 2022 alone, and if you lived in a city run by George Soros' hand-picked district attorneys, you could practically rob a bank, torch a car, and still be home for dinner. But if you dared disagree with their woke playbook, bam, you're the one in cuffs. Trump's had enough. He's not just a deal maker, he's a symbol maker. Alcatraz isn't just a prison, it's a middle finger to criminals, a neon sign screaming, "Justice is back, baby." Back in the day, it housed legends like Al Capone, not because they were misunderstood, but because they were menaces. Trump wants to bring that vibe back, and I'm here for it. But oh, my liberal friends, I see you clutching your pearls, muttering about rehabilitation and systemic issues. All right, let's hear it. Tell me why turning Alcatraz into a tourist trap was smarter than locking up thugs. Let's have that conversation. Caption America winks, shield gleaming. Let's take a trip to the 1930s, when America didn't mess around. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, aka The Rock, opened in 1934 as the Fed's answer to the gangster era. Al Capone, George Machine Gun, Kelly, and other charmers called it home. Because it was a fortress in San Francisco Bay, surrounded by shark-infested waters and currents that laughed at escape plans. The Bureau of Prisons said it was built to show the law-abiding public that the federal government was serious about crushing crime. And boy, did it. With a max capacity of 336, it held about 260 to 275 of the worst at any time, guys who'd make your skin crawl. Over 29 years, 36 idiots tried escaping. Most got caught, 6 were shot, and 2 drowned. Only 3 might have made it, and they're probably fish food. Alcatraz wasn't just a prison, it was a symbol. Cross the line, and you'd end up on an island where the only view was regret. It told criminals, "We see you and we're not playing." Compare that to today, where Soros-funded district attorneys like Chesa Boudin let felons waltz free while victims get a shrug. Trump's plan? Dust off that symbol, make it bigger, badder, and ready to remind crooks that actions have consequences. Sorry, Nancy Pelosi, calling it unserious doesn't change history. Alcatraz worked because it meant business. Fast forward to 2025, and what's Alcatraz now? A freaking theme park. Since 1973, the National Park Service has run it as part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, raking in 1.4 million visitors a year. You can tour the cells, buy a mug, and pretend you're Clint Eastwood in Escape from Alcatraz. It's cute, right? While cities burn under progressive DAs who think shoplifting's a personality trait, Alcatraz is a museum for Instagram influencers. The same island that once made gangsters sweat is now a cash cow, generating millions while the justice system generates excuses. The BOP shut it down in 1963 because it was too expensive, $10.10 per inmate daily, oh no. Meanwhile, San Francisco's de let murderers back on the street to save a buck. Trump's looking at this and saying, enough. He wants to rip Alcatraz from the NPS, rebuild it into a fortress for today's worst. Think cartels, not Capone. Critics whine about costs or human rights. Ooh, what about the rights of victims in cities where crime's up 20% in some spots since 2020? Alcatraz as a prison again isn't just practical, it's poetic. A symbol that says, we're done coddling criminals. Enter Donald Trump, the guy who builds skyscrapers and slaps his name on everything. On May 4, 2025, he posted, "Rebuild and open Alcatraz." He's directing the Bureau of Prisons, DOJ, FBI, and DHS to make it happen, promising a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Fortress 4, America's most ruthless and violent offenders. This isn't just about concrete and steel, it's about rebuilding trust in a justice system that's been bleeding out. Trump's fed up with judges who block deportations of gang members, looking at you, Judge Boasberg, and district attorneys who treat felons like misunderstood poets. He's clashing with courts over sending thugs to El Salvador's Secot prison, so why not bring the fight home? Alcatraz 2.0 is his line in the sand, no more catch and release. Historians like John Martini cry, it's a money pit. Sure, it'll cost a fortune. Upward of $50 million just to fix the current ruins. But what's the price of a society where criminals run free? Trump's betting on symbolism, a rebuilt rock as a deterrent, a warning that justice isn't a suggestion. Is it practical? Maybe not. Is it bold? Hell yes. It's Trump saying, I hear the victims, and I'm building the solution. All right, patriots, we've laid it out. Alcatraz was, is, and could be again a symbol of justice served. Trump's plan to bring it back screams, no more Mr. Nice Guy, to criminals who've had a free pass under Soros-funded puppets. But my left-leaning friends, I know you're itching to tell me I'm wrong. You probably think Alcatraz is better as a museum, that mass incarceration is the real crime, or that Trump's just grandstanding. Fine. Here's your shot. Convince me and my viewers that rebuilding Alcatraz is a bad idea. Tell us why locking up the worst of the worst, cartel hitmen, repeat murderers, isn't the answer. Is it too expensive? Too harsh? Or do you just love those reform policies that let felons roam free? Drop your best argument in the comments or send a video response. I'll feature the sharpest ones next week. But fair warning, bring facts, not feelings, because Caption America doesn't do hugs. Let's have that conversation, and may the best case win.
He flies through the sky, shield held high, defender of the people, lightning in his eye, with strength in his heart and courage ablaze. He fights for the free, lights up the dark day.